Epipanyo Labrador, dumating na ang iyong wish. Wish granted ka na ngayon. Yan, may patawag ka sa Senado. Ngayon, sa House of Representatives ka muna haharap. Sa TRICOM ka muna haharap. Ayan, siguro naman matatapos na yung pagtatago mo dyan sa bundok. Yan, sige, harapin mo na ito. Ang attorney kung Congressman Rodante Marcoleta. At ilabas mo yung tapang mo. Diba? Ito naman yung hiniling mo na mapatawag ka sa mga hearing. Ayan. Kung doon sa regular filing hindi ka sumipot, dito sana sumipot ka na. Good luck sa'yo, Epipanyo Labrador.
Iglesia ni Manalo na Diablo na nagsasabing iglesia daw ni Kristo. Itong si Marcoleta ay talagang din nakatulad po.
At pati po ako pinagmumuran niya, tinawag po niya akong demonyo, lahat. Pero hindi po ako kumikibo. Ang sinasabi ko lang, kung tayo talaga ay i-address po natin ang mga ganitong klaseng paninira na mga narratives, ay siguro po pati itong mga ganitong klaseng tao ay may patawag din natin. Ako po.
Okay. Yes. Please recognize yourself. Mark Gamboa po. From? Vlogger po. Okay.
Mr. Chair, I remember also the committee committed during the last hearing that I attended that we will also invite representatives from Philippine Inquirer and Philippine Star because of the issue that I raised. I raised then the issue that we are not only concerned with the fake news and the false narratives and false information being peddled in our society, but we are concerned as well with the truth that are being suppressed. Truth that might have given enlightenment and further information for our people, but they were deliberately and intentionally being suppressed for reasons that they themselves know. This is also alarming as well, Mr. Chair. So, I was promised by the committee last time that in the next hearing, representatives from these two giant broadsheets will also be invited to shed light on the information that is...
according to the COMSEC, the representatives from Philippine Daily Inquirer and Philippine Star,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
were present during the last hearing. However, accordingly, there were no members who asked questions to them. So, is there any representative from Inquirer and Philippine Star at the moment? Wala. So then maybe we can invite them next time. We did not include them anymore today because they were already present during the last hearing.
Does that follow, Mr. Chair, that because nobody questioned them in the last hearing, they can simply absent themselves today?
We required them to attend the last hearing. And now, we have invited other resource persons. May I inquire from the COMSEC, were they invited today? So that we will be fair. According to COMSEC, Congressman Marcoleta, the Philippine Daily Inquirer and Philippine Star were not invited.
So we know the reason why they were not invited today, Madam Chair. The COMSEC has the liberty to decide on this, or the chairperson are the ones who are authorized to decide on whether to invite people or not.
Kong Marcoleta, you know the process. For every hearing, we have a set of resource persons to be invited.
I know that, Mr. Chair. What I'm saying is there was a commitment.
It is already very clear that they were not invited today because, to be fair with them, they were present during the last hearing and nobody asked questions. Kaya nga, hindi na sila inibita because we are focusing on other resource persons.
Kaya nga po, yun ang gusto kong itanong.
If that would be the case, if you would like to really insist, then we will invite them. Or if you want, if you can wait, we will call them and have them come here to send a representative. But let's not make this an issue. This will delay the hearing.
I am not making this an issue, Mr. Chair. I am simply asking kung sakali pong hindi sila
Hindi nga natin
natanong,
naimbita, Congressman Marcoleta. I'm
yun lang
sorry
po,
to
why
say.
would the COMSEC decide by themselves? Sana po yung chair ang magdi-decide. Yun lang naman po ang punto. The COMSEC cannot decide on who to invite or who cannot be invited. And chair po ang may prerogative.
It was a prerogative of the chairman not to invite them because they were not asked questions already. In fairness to them, they were diligent in attending the previous hearing, but unfortunately, nobody asked them a question. So it would be redundant to ask them to be present here again. So let me now proceed, Mr. Marcoleta, to other matters.
May I ask that the short video, Mr. Chair, be shown because that will provide context already.
In that case, COMSEC, please.
Ng Iglesia ni Manalo. Iglesia ni Manalo na Diablo na nagsasabing iglesia daw ni Kristo. Itong si Marcoleta ay talagang demonyo din na katulad po ni Kibuloy. Paano ko nasabi? Mamaya po papaliwanag ko sa inyo kung gaano po kademonyo yung putang inang Marcoletang ito. Itong malaking matang itong diputang ito na masasabi mo talagang diablo rin katulad ni Kibulok.
Mr. Chair, yung vlogger na yan, ang pangalan niya sa social media is Epifanio Labrador. Hindi ko po siya kilala. Narinig po ninyo kung murahin niya yung aking relihiyon na kinabibilangan. At pati po ako pinagmumura niya, tinawag po niya akong demonyo, lahat. Pero hindi po ako kumikibo. Ang sinasabi ko lang, kung tayo talaga ay i-address po natin ang mga ganitong klaseng paninira na mga narratives, ay siguro po pati itong mga ganitong klaseng tao ay may patawag din natin. Ako po, kahit na po ano pang sabihin nila, I will just stay as I am. As transparent and as accountable as I am. Because right now, what we need are people that can probably criticize us to the height of even abusing their rights. Pero ako po, walang problema sa kanila. Ay darating din po ang panahon that these people will be rendered useless at wala nang maniniwala sa kanila until time will come na masasabi ng tao that they are stupid, useless people and they are simply liars. Tayo po ang ating role lang basta ayusin lang po natin ang ating pagsisilbi kahit ano pong sabihin nila sa atin. Tingnan po niyo yung pagmura nila sa akin. Wala naman po akong hindi ko po nga kilala yan Kung murahin niya po ako parang kayo po, narinig po ninyo lahat kung anong pinagsasabi niya. But people, I think, will not believe him. Dahil hindi po ako yun, yung sinasabihan niya. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
That is precisely the objective of this hearing, Representative Marcoleta. So, are you requesting that Mr. Epifanio be called to be invited for the next hearing?
By all means, Mr. Chair, I will thank you for that.
COMSEC, please take note. The said person that has been mentioned earlier by Representative Marcoleta will be invited for the next hearing. Before we proceed, may I acknowledge the presence online of Representative Mix Villaferte, Representative Sandro Gonzales. And finally, can we now present the committee video presentation?
Gusto ko lang pong masaya po ako na nakasama na po natin ngayong umaga. Ito pong mga kaibigan po natin sa DDS side, lalo na si Miss Crisette Chu. Ayan. Kamusta po? Ako po ang gusto ko lang po sabihin, bukod po sa fake news, kasi po dahil sa aming mga vloggers na rin, nagkaroon po ng culture of hatred, toxicity sa social media. So para sa akin maganda po yung pagtitipon na ito na nagkakasama-sama po lahat para po mapag-usapan po yan at makita po ng publiko naman na pwede naman magkaiba ng politika kaming mga vloggers pero at the same time ay pwedeng may respeto pa rin sa isa't isa. And also kasi po nasanay na po ang mga kababayan po natin sa kultura na porket online, kung ano-ano po yung sasabihin doon po sa mga personalidad o sa mga tao, mga masasakit na salita. Ang maganda nga po dito, nandito po tayo ngayon, nandito yung mga vloggers from different political camps. Kung meron silang gustong sabihin sa mga, for example, kay General Torre dito, pwede po nilang sabihin harapan po. Hindi po yung sa social media lang, at pwede po nilang face-to-face po sabihin. Kasi po minsan po, ang nangyayari po dahil social media, sa pagka-toxic po, doon na po, kumaga mas tumatapang po yung mga kababayan po natin na hindi naman kayang sabihin face-to-face. So, yun lang naman po. Thank you po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we'll now proceed with
individual statement. I am appearing before your esteemed committees upon your invitation as a resource person and to give due honor to and respect to our public institutions. Ako po si Mary Jean Kiambao Reyes or MJ Kiambao sa Facebook, co-founder ng isang humanitarian organization. I am actively involved in providing assistance to indigent pediatric patients and communities affected by natural disasters for almost 2 decades now. And as such, I'm exposed to the sufferings of many of our countrymen. Dahilan kung bakit ho masidhi ang aking layunin na labanan ang korupsyon na siyang nagdudulot ng masidhing paghihirap. Nauunawaan ko na ako po ay ipinatawag sa hearing na ito bilang isang resource person ukol sa usaping fake news. Dahil sa mga nagkalat na balita ngayon kung saan labis na nadudungisan na ang aking pangalan at nadidikit sa mga salitang fake news purveyor, pogo bloggers, China paid, narco blogger, nadudungisan ang pangalang pinakaiingatan at ko at ng aking mga magulang, kaya nais ko lamang po sanang linawin ang mga sumusunod. Bagamat walang masama sa pagiging isang blogger, I cannot really categorize myself as such. Ako po ay isang karaniwang Pilipino lamang na nagsusulong ng good governance at free speech mula pa noon, bago pa man lumaganap ang paggamit ng social media. Hindi po ako pro or anti-Marcos or Duterte or any other politician. Ako po ay pro good governance. Sumusuporta po ako sa bawat pinuno at bawat Pilipinong nagtataguyod ng maayos at malinis na pamamahala at malayang pamamahayag at pagpuna. Hindi po ako taga-balita. I am not a journalist. I only react and opine to news and current events online. I criticize and yes, I admit sometimes I have my biases, but I do not hit below the belt or resort to ad hominem statements. Issue-based lamang po ako. Lalong hindi po ako nagsusulat o deliberately nag-share ng fake news. Bagamat hindi ko pinasok ang mundo ng pagbabalita, ako po ay isang mass comm degree holder. Isa rin akong editor-in-chief noon at dala-dala ko pa rin ang mga pinag-aralan ko at code of ethics ng mga mamamahayag. Ang bawat opinion ko at reaksyon sa social media ay base po sa aking katotohanang ayon sa aking karanasan, pinaniniwalaan at prinsipyong pinanghahawakan. Hindi po ako tumatanggap ng anumang bayad o pabor mula sa pogo, sa narco, China o sa kahit sinong politiko. I have always been against all forms of gambling and illegal drugs. Kabilin-bilinan po ng aking mga magulang, magdildil ka na ng asin, huwag ka lang magnakaw at huwag mong ipagbibili ang iyong dangal. Nag-aaral po ako ang maigi at kumayod ng gusto para maitaguyod ko ang aking pamilya at ang aking sarili sa marangal na paraan. Kaya masakit po na madikit sa mga ganung salita na yung mga fake news purveyor at narco bloggers. Ngayon naman sa usaping China at West Philippine Sea, I do not claim expertise on this matter. Ang sa akin lamang bilang isang Pilipino, marapat lang na protektahan natin ang bawat isla ng ating bansa sa legal at mapayapang pamamaraan. I am afraid, Your Honor, na wala po ako masyadong maiambag sa usapin ng fake news, pogo bloggers, narco bloggers, as I am not in any way involved in any of that. I also cannot claim expertise on social media and blogging. In fact, my SOCMED account is not even monetized. Now, given my limited knowledge on the topics of this legislative hearing, ang maimumungkahi ko lamang sa ngayon ay dalawang bagay lamang. Una, labanan po natin ng fake news sa pamamagitan ng paglalabas ng mas maraming reliable information mula sa iba't ibang ahensya. Pangalawa, and more importantly, paigtingin po natin ang edukasyon ng bansa. Gawin nating mas matatalino ang mga Pilipino so they themselves can more easily decipher what is true from what is false. I think everyone here sa mga kasama ko sa social media support the efforts of the TRICOM. We agree that free speech and freedom of expression must be protected and that fake news, disinformation must be eradicated. These are our common grounds that unite us. We wish TRICOM every success. Yun lamang po sa ngayon ang aking maimumungkahi. Sakaling may mga issue sa mga susunod na pagkakataon ukol sa free speech, anti-corruption at disaster relief operations kung saan mas doon po ako linya, at doon yung mas marami kong maiaambag, ay handa po akong makipagtulungan. Muli, maraming salamat at magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. What I would like to say is not an interpellation. Maybe I will just make a very general manifestation, Mr. Chair, because up to now, I am not yet sure how how can we address this looming problem that the country faces in relation to fake news and deep fakes, false narratives and false information, in the face of certain gold standard set by our Supreme Court. This gold standard, Mr. Chair, came in the form of decisions. May I just cite at least 4 of them, Mr. Chair, for our sake. This concerns the conduct of public men, people in government, and how criticisms can be hurled against them and how should they respond to these criticisms. I think these are very important standards, Mr. Chair, in the wake of our desire to probably make laws in relation to free speech. The first one, Mr. Chair, is the case of Yabut versus Office of the Ombudsman, 303 Philippines 319. And I quote this: a public official, more especially an elected one, should not be onion-skinned. Strict personal discipline is expected of an occupant of a public office because a public official is a property of the public. He is looked upon to set the example how public officials should correctly conduct themselves, even in the face of extreme provocation. The second standard, or the second case that reiterates this standard, Mr. Chair, is United States versus Bustos, 37 Philippines 731. And I quote this: the interest of society and the maintenance of good government demand a full discussion of public affairs, complete liberty to comment on the conduct of public men is a scalpel in the case of free speech. The sharp incision of its probe relieves the abscesses of officialdom. Men in public life may suffer under a hostile and unjust accusation. The wound can be assuaged with the balm of clear conscience. A public officer must not be too skinned with reference to comment upon his official acts. The third one, Mr. Chair, is Sason versus CA, 325 Philippines 1053. On this point, the rule is that defamatory remarks and comments on the conduct of or acts of public officers which are related to the discharge of their if the defendant proves the truth of the imputation. And the last one, Mr. Chair, is De Leon versus People 776 Philippines 701. And I quote this: While petitioners' declarations may be offensive, they are not actionable by themselves. Being sensitive has no place in this line of service, more so when allowing otherwise has the potential to create a chilling effect on the public. Mr. Chair, why am I stressing this gold standard as enunciated by some of the important decisions of the Supreme Court? Because as public men, as public servants, I have cited an example earlier when one blogger attacked me indiscriminately, called me demonyo and all this. My defense to that, Mr. Chair, is not probably to ask him in public to explain or even ask for an apology or he be restrained by this committee, but I will just stand upright, as upright as I can and clean as I am, because people would judge me for what I am and for what this person could do against me. Yun lang po ang nakikita kong parang armas natin. Kapag nakikita nila tayo as transparent as we can to these people, people can easily distinguish na wala yan, sinungaling yan. Like, yun lang ang gusto kong maging karanasan ng tao, kahit na siguro hindi ko na siya demanda o pagalitan o gumawa ng action against him. It is enough that people would not listen to him anymore, that he will be rendered useless and people would just judge him as, you know, as a liar, somebody who peddles something that cannot be accepted by people. To me, that is already a consolation, Mr. Chair. So kung ating pong mga vloggers ay maaring napapasobra po yung kanilang pagkikriticize sa atin, talaga kung minsan po ay ganon. We have to strike a balance between the public affairs, between the public issues that must be deliberated completely and in the light of an extensive discussion of public affairs of government. You have to strike a balance between the importance of these issues discussed in public and the hostile accusation that might arise from this. Yun po yung gusto ko po. May mga batas naman po tayo, once they attack us on a private side, ang sinasabi po ito very, very easily, that could constitute libel pagka-personal na po. Kaya po nung tinawag niya po akong demonyo, okay, yun na po yung personal na po yun. It's up to me to act kung gagamitin ko pa po yun. Pero sa akin po ay parang ano na lang yun. Katulad po nung nakaraan na pagdinig po, hindi ko makalimutan, isang abogado pa naman yun na nagbablog po na sinabi niya na huwag kayong maniwala sa pakulo at panliling lang ni Marcoleta. You were here, Mr. Chair and members, nung tanungin ko po siya, ano po ba po yung basihan ninyo na ako po yung nandun lang. Wala po siyang maisagot ng kahit ano. He is a lawyer and he was allegedly teaching in a very reputable law school. So yun po, Mr. Chair, pwede ko po siyang demanda ng pwede ko po siyang padisbar, no? Iniisip ko lang po na pwede kong gawin yun because as a lawyer, maling-mali po yung ginawa niya because we have our own code na talaga pong pinagsisikapan naming itaguyod sa mga members po ng Philippine Bar. So, meron po tayong mga batas na umiiral, Mr. Chair. May libel, ando na po yung maring madisbar po yung mga kamukha namin na members ng Philippine Bar na nasosobrahan na po yung sinasabi nila. Pero sa mga vloggers po na maaaring kinikriticize tayo because our conduct is public. Yung pagsisilbi natin is public. They need some kind of a medium. Nakikita po nila tayo that we should be as transparent and accountable as we can be. Sa akin po ay binibigay ko na lang pong isang karapatan para sa kanila. Wag lang po sana yung sumobra po na maging personal na po ang mga pangyayari. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Paalala lang po sa lahat, pakilapit po yung mikropono dahil may problema tayo sa audio. Medyo mahina po. The next to interpolate, Representative Rods Gutierrez. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I understand we have quite a lot of topics to discuss today. And first of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to our resource persons for attending after this whole time that they have not, no? Although we have to recall that twofold po yung privileged speech ni Congressman Barbers. On one hand, we have the proliferation of fake news of the bloggers na binabanggit, and I'm sure we'll be getting to that at a later time. But one thing that we'd like to discuss is also that might have been forgotten is the other privileged speech of the Honorable Barbers regarding fake news in China. So this is something that we wanted to highlight in the previous hearings. However, wala po yung the social media platform most involved. Luckily today, we'd like to thank them for their appearance. Nandito po yung ByteDance, owners of TikTok. So we could now discuss this issue thoroughly. To begin po, I'd like to direct my questions to the good spokesperson of Coast Guard, Commodore Tariela. Commodore Tariela, magandang umaga po sa inyo. Good afternoon na pala po. Good noon. Sir, meron po kasi earlier this month to the Honorable Chairman, kumakalat na post sa Chinese social media platforms. And instead of just limiting yung discussion sa West Philippine Sea, parang expanded na po yung kanilang claim. Lately, their claim now is that nagsasabi na ang China ay nagmamay-ari at namamahala sa Palawan for a period of 1,000 years sa Zhenghe Island. Ito rin daw yung basis for the island to return to China. Are you aware po, sir, of this post in relation to yung West Philippine Sea issue natin?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, you can proceed.
Yes, sir. The Philippine Coast Guard is aware of the social media post that is circulating in the different social media platforms.
Mr. Chair, I think the committee secretary, just for the information of the body, is the committee secretary prepared to flash this figure 1 po? Para lang makita natin. Let's not give it dignity. We will not play the video. But just to have, para may idea lang po ang ating mga mamamayan kung ano po yung itsura nitong post. Ito po yon. Is this the same post that you're referring to, Commodore Tariela?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, with your permission, I wish to bring attention to this honorable committee these screenshots showing an individual defending China's false claims over Palawan online. These comments were captured by the Facebook page Palawan Daily as part of efforts to debunk these false claims. This is a disturbing example of blatantly fake claims which are now spreading across the internet. While these claims are clearly ludicrous, there is no telling how many people may believe it or what kind of effect such belief could have. What is clear, however, is that there are individuals or entities who consciously created this content, clearly aiming to undermine our national sovereignty. So as you can see po, aside po sa post na, yung sa right side po, yung lumalabas actually, parang video po siya, but then even in the comments, there are people defending this. And I think it would be hard for us to determine the authenticity of these persons, Chinese nga po yung characters. That is, an issue po ng fake news in relation to the West Philippine Sea is that some of the actors are beyond our territory po, no? So that's another aspect that would add complexity to the regulation of these things. But we'll go into that po siguro with TikTok later on. So, Commodore Tariela, sa buong panahon mo po sa PCG,